All right, guys. What is going on? I don't have my. Here we go. We're back with it. Hopefully that sounds okay. Man, we got a lot of news for a Friday afternoon. How about that? We got like everybody entering the portal. We got a mass exodus. We got no defensive linemen left on the roster. That's insane. And we got like one edge guy that's like worth a damn. So, yeah, London Merritt, I'm hoping he sticks around. We'll just have to see. But hey, y'all come cope with me in the comments. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe. Also, today's video brought to you by Kalshi. Use the promo code DTB for a $10 bonus when you deposit 10. And let's make ourselves happy putting some money on whether that's NFL, predicting the college football playoff where Kenny Dillingham's going to coach. Is that going to be Michigan? But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of today's stuff. Man, we got a lot of news to go through. Again, get in here. Let me know your thoughts. You can come cope, come crash out, come live in denial with me too. This is going to be great. All right, here we go. Alexander McPherson entering the portal. Bam. Man, he was one of the few guys that I really wanted to stick around. So honestly, man, this freaking sucks. I don't like it. And you notice Christian Hudson moving in too. Again, guys, this is why you recruit more than 12 or 15 guys every single year, because then you're left with like 5 guys from the class. Yeah, it's a numbers game. So I think Coach Prime has been absolutely proven wrong with what he's talking about with high school recruiting, because you're gonna lose the roster or half the roster every year or whatever. And now we got to go, as Rose is bringing up, we got to go get 50, 60 guys in the portal. Heck, maybe even 70 by the time this whole thing is done. Now, I'll get into that later. But anyways, loved Alexander McPherson coming over here from IMG. I thought he played really well. 10 games this season, 16 tackles, quarterback hurry, half a sack, 3 years of eligibility left, and just a promising young defensive end edge player. Like, there's no doubt about it. Now, why is he leaving? Is it money related? Is it we went 3-9 related? Is it a coaching change? I don't know. From what I understand and what my friend Buffs News Weekly in here saying, that McPherson absolutely loved Colorado. So maybe it has to do with something that's more coaching related. I don't know. But guys, now we have no interior defensive lineman in the freaking room with Christian Hudson leaving and Tawfiq Thomas. Insane. So there's going to be a makeover. Does Doma Peko stay? Does Warren Sapp stay? I don't know, but I think that this signals kind of a big cleaning of the house on the defensive side of the ball. Again, I would like to see him stick around, man. You might say, well, we're going to replace him in the portal. If we can't replace our true freshmen that have half a sack, man, what's going on? What's going on here? Is it all scheme related, man? We'll find out. As you can see, Christian Hudson here, he was a redshirt freshman this year. He played in 4 games. I don't even know if he registered a tackle, but it would have been nice. Again, I would like to see our young players stick around, but, not happening. On a positive note, RJ Johnson is going to stay. And yes, it would be nice to have some players stay and hopefully be developed by some different position coaches. But physically, you like what RJ Johnson brings to the table. Now let's see if he can get coached up a little bit better this season. And of course, I didn't even know he had eligibility for next year, but Tawfiq Thomas is going into the portal. We got nobody left in the room, and that really does signal kind of a cleaning of the house, a changing of the guard. How do we find like 12 defensive linemen and edge players at least during this portal period? I got no idea. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And then let me go ahead and just get to the Drelon Miller tweet here, which let me see. All right. Drelon Miller, he posted this. He's saying, hey, thanks, everybody. Wearing the black and gold taught me how to compete, show up when it matters. After prayer and reflection, I'm entering the portal. Want to thank everybody. Forever thankful, Sco Buffs. Hey, good luck to you, Drelon. I think when you're looking at this offense, the go-go offense, and just really Drelon's role, especially this year, again, this is where this staff just absolutely failed, is that they just lacked a vision and a role for some of the players on the team, whether that was on defense or offense. A guy like Cam Michael, I don't think he's entered the portal yet, but it's like I wouldn't be surprised if he does because we can't keep him at one position. Now, Drelon, I did like some of what we saw from him at running back. But I mean, probably my worst take of the season, guys, hot take prediction was that he would lead the team in receiving. I said that out in August, and that was probably my worst take outside of thinking that this team was going to, have 8 wins. And yeah, I don't know what the deal was, whether he was hurt or if he put on bad weight. I do have some questions about the training. I think like overall with the team and the conditioning, this was just a horrible year, man. But Drelon lacked, that explosiveness throughout most of the year that we were kind of used to seeing a little bit more during his true freshman year. And so, yeah, I think a change of scenery is going to be good for him. There are still a lot of offensive weapons that we have on the roster right now that I think Brennan Marrion's going to be able to get more out of than what we saw, Pat Shermer and company do. By the way, congratulations, Brett Bartolone, moving on to Nevada as an offensive coordinator. I welcome that very much. And, congratulations to him. I think he's at the point in his career where he just needs to be calling play somewhere. And I didn't want that to be here any longer. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Drelon Miller. But right now we're kind of at the point where we got to see what happens. Again, we're going to find out everybody who's leaving first before we can find out who's coming in. But man, I got to say, I think my friend on Twitter, Buff Boy, he had a list of like 10 guys that he wanted to see CU retain. And I think, at least half of those guys have now entered the portal. One of them being, Alex McPherson on there, man. And it just, it would have been nice to really keep him here. But yeah, for whatever reason, he's gone. And again, while you look at it on the surface, 6 quarterback hurries, half a sack, a blocked punt, 16 tackles. Yeah, you can replace that in the portal. You can. The problem is that, I mean, this is probably going to be an AAU Buffs type of year, right? Where who knows where college football is going and where our program is going right now. The level of guys retaining, it's not going to be very high. So we'll see what mercenaries we can bring in for this year. Again, this isn't exactly the type of roster building strategy that I would prefer. Some of this I feel like is out of the control of the program, but I also feel like a lot of this is in control of the program. And we'll have to see, man. Again, if you're not wanting to pay some of these guys to stick around, I can understand that. If we just need a total cultural reset after Chidozie Nwankwo came in here and called everybody bitches, during the second bye week, I think like leading up to the Utah game or whatever. Sure, I understand that, but I think Alexander McPherson's a good player. Tyler Brown also entered the portal for his 8th college football season. Again, it would have just been nice to have him here as a reserve lineman, but he probably wants to go play somewhere else, maybe back at the FCS level or something like that. So good luck to him. Make the most out of it. It's crazy to think that there are players that can play almost a decade in college football. You better be a doctor or a lawyer when this is all said and done, TB. That's all I'm saying. Take as much, or take as big of an advantage as you can, from getting all this free education, right? We'll have to see. But I think other guys that could be on the move next. Again, we've seen Juju, Zach Atkins, Joseph Williams, and RJ Johnson kind of post these, reaffirming tweets, with the Buffs. So we'll see. Jordan Seaton hasn't posted one yet. So again, he's still going to be somebody to keep an eye on. But yeah, like this is part of the riding the emotional wave as a college football fan, as a Colorado fan. Now we're figuring out everybody who's leaving. Okay. That blows. That sucks. With some of these guys, some of these other guys, man, I don't care. Like it's whatever. But some of these guys, man, it sucks to see. But you can't make a determination on the season yet until we see actually who we're bringing in and who are some of the coaches that we're bringing in. I think that with the whole D line group out of here, I'll be honest. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I would be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Doma Peko and Warren Sapp go. I wouldn't mind seeing Robert Livingston have a little bit more autonomy over the defensive assistant staff, just like Brennan Marrion seems to have with the offense. Maybe he can actually bring in some of these guys and coaches to get these guys coached up a little bit more effectively. I think, yeah, sure. Did a lot of our players just suck this year? Yeah. But I also think, guys, it's a both and thing. A lot of our coaches suck too. And I mean, you guys aren't shy about that either. So again, from the recruiting staff to the coaching staff to the players, I think it's very clear that we have needed to clean house in some ways. But, guys like Alexander McPherson, you see as like a cornerstone. I'm, now looking back at like, what's the point of letting Taj McCoy go? Saying, okay, you're bringing in London Merritt and Alexander McPherson, but, these guys are going to be out, the following year, dude. You might as well just kept Taj McCoy, right? Again, I don't know the situation there. But that's the type of thing. It's like, man, what are we doing? We'll just have to see. I'll get to a few of your comments, guys. This isn't going to be a super long stream, but yeah, Tawfiq Thomas, Christian Hudson, they're gone. We now have 0 interior defensive linemen in the room. Dude, that's hilarious. It's embarrassing. It's also hilarious. Let's see what we do moving forward. And we really just have, we got guys like Nikhil Webb Walker and I think Quincy Wiggins. Like those guys have another year left. Granted, you could still get a 4 or 5th year breakout from college players, right? But really the only one of, any statistical value is London Merritt that's left on the team. And we also have barely any returning linebackers. Maybe that's like Kylan Salter. So the whole defense, man, is getting a big makeover, particularly the front 7, having one of the worst defenses in college football. Hey, can't really get much worse. So, yeah, maybe you guys kind of welcome a lot of this stuff. Let's see. Dennis coming in here. Bucky for AD. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go, man. Let's see what happens. Saying Sapp needs to go is outrageous. Hey, if Warren Sapp didn't have the name Warren Sapp, what has he brought? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, he got this big promotion this year, and we saw guys play worse than we saw last year. We saw our pass rush significantly decline. Now, I know we lost BJ Green and we lost Chidozie Nwankwo, but Chidozie wasn't much of like a pass rusher, man. Like, again, you can disagree with me on that take, but again, I don't think that's an outrageous take at all with any of these defensive coaches. We absolutely sucked. Again, if we moved on from Robert Livingston, I wouldn't hate that move either, man. The results were absolutely awful this year, and yeah, Warren Sapp, Coach Hart, Coach Mathis, Peko, even Hilo, man. We just did not see this group that was filled with a ton of seniors, guys, a ton of 4th and 5th year players. That's the other thing too. None of them took a step forward this year. None of them. The only guys that we saw, I feel like impress us were guys that were true freshmen. And maybe that has to do with more of them coming from IMG more than anything. We'll have to see. And hey, if you're reading the tea leaves, yeah, it probably is London Merritt, man. He probably is next. Now I'm gonna hold out hope. We'll have to see, but I would love to keep him. Hey, we have some money that we got to give some of these players, right? Can Merritt be one of those guys? He's a promising young player, man. I thought he played really, really well. Um, let's see what else. Your mom's favorite is thinking Slaughter, Seaton, and Merritt are all out of here. Hey, we'll have to see. Yeah, you can't go back to square one in year 4. That's exactly what we're doing right now. And again, if we're able to improve on the coaching side of things, maybe in a vacuum we don't have as talented players, but the sum is greater than the individual parts type of thing, right? Brennan Marrion can coach these guys up and have a real system that works. The offense should improve. Can we get a little bit more of that on defense? I don't know, man. But it's hard, dude, when you got no idea how much money these guys are making, how much money we have to work with, and really outside of some of the few reports that you get on guys on programs like Tech or Ohio State or Texas, whatever. You don't know what any of these schools are spending, man. So it's really hard to, I don't know, like have any super definitive takes. We'll see what else you guys got to say in here. Deal wholesaler, Dave. It's over, Dave. What is over? What is over? Our 3-9 season? It's not about the money. Kids don't want to lose 9 games a year. And yeah, I don't blame them for that, man. You have to set the right culture. And the culture was straight booty this year. Absolutely, man. Now, in terms of me, David Talks Buffs is not over. We are going nowhere. Now, I was, saying, man, out of all the schools, why did I choose to go to CU instead of, something like Ohio State or Georgia? It would have been a lot easier, right? David Talks Dogs, David Talks Buckeyes. But I'm a Colorado guy. This is the path I have chosen, and now it's blood. It's in my DNA. It just is what it is. And Russ bringing up a great point here too. Houston did a pretty good job of replacing a max exodus from last year. And yeah, everybody expected Houston to be like one of the worst teams at best, right? A lot of people were thinking that they were going to be the worst team in the Big 12, at the very best, one of the worst teams, or as part of like that bottom quarter or so. And they really surprised this year. So with the right cleaning of house, with the right reset, you can become competitive in the Big 12. You absolutely can. Much like Houston, they did not deserve the benefit of the doubt going into last year that they were going to turn things around as quickly as they did. And right now, with what we've seen, our inability to scout correctly this past year, man, like, yeah, I bet the over under is, I might be putting some money on the over just because of that over at Kalshi. Again, use the promo code DTB for that. Let's see here. Tawfiq, Swain, and Christian Hudson. I would have liked to cat. This is very fair. Respectfully, I'm not tripping on everyone else. I will not freak out like David in DNVR. I reserve comments to after January 15th. And, that's fair. That's fair. We'll see what talent we are able to add. But, man, it's not like we're looking to, add 7 starters on this team, man. We got a lot of work to do. We have, like, talking about the offensive line, what we got? Probably 13 to 14 at minimum starting positions to fill on this team. Plus, do we even have like a 2-3 deep at some of these positions? We don't on the defensive line, the edge group, and the linebackers really right now. So we got a lot. we have to absolutely crush it in the talent evaluation and the character evaluation. That's the thing. So we'll find out what their plan is come January. You're right, but during this period of guys entering the portal, my hope and my goal for the program was to keep some of these young players that are just scratching the surface with their potential. Alexander McPherson being one of them. Brandon Davis Swain, I liked. I didn't exactly consider him like a cornerstone piece, but we'll have to see, man. There's some of these guys are good players. Let's see here. I know, man. 350 years of NFL experience. Yeah, we better stop tweeting those things out, man. How about that? Let's see. What else we got here? Has DJ McKinney announced? Nope. Not yet. Yep, Drelon Miller's out of here in case you haven't seen that. Again, that makes sense, man. If I'm him, I'd be pissed off that I didn't have like a defined role this year. Again, dude, Pat Shurmur dude, I can't believe we kept Pat Shurmur as long as we did. Dude, this guy had no vision, no direction for an offense, for the talent that he had, and a real offensive philosophy. How the hell has this guy made his whole career calling offenses? It's insane. Our Porter, step up or step off is the new way of all leagues. And now the NCAA is that. Emotions aside, results, period. It all hurts because we do not know as the public as the true direction. I know. We just kind of got to speculate and hope and think and, yeah, just wonder. That's what I do a lot on this channel. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, we lost Tyler Brown, man. Nah, man, we don't got no block bully in here. No. I don't dislike Coach Prime. No, Kenneth Hudson. I don't. Um, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna give you my thoughts every day. Like this is I'm not gonna sugarcoat this stuff as like amazing news. You never like to lose a guy like Alexander McPherson, right? But we'll see what happens. Do I agree with Coach Prime's strategy or some of the guys that he's hired? Yeah, I don't. But I really do like Coach Prime. Like as a person, I really want him to succeed. I can separate that from some of my own independent thoughts on like how I feel like things are going. Yeah, I mean this was a 3-9 season, man. I think that I think most fans don't really tolerate 3-9, and it seems like Coach Prime doesn't tolerate 3-9 either because he's making significant changes. So we'll have to see. Yeah, Miller's gone too. Oh. And that's true. So many guys have left various programs. CU is not alone in this. And that's true, man. And this goes into the greater state of college football. And I hate it, man. Like again, I'm here in San Antonio now. UTSA has a problem where they got like 30 players or something like that sitting out for the bowl game coming up because of they're holding out on offers or they're planning on entering the portal and that they've been tampered with and all these sorts of things, man. Right now in this era of college football, the coaches win because they make an insane amount of money and they can leave whenever. And this is good for the players in the fact that they're able to capitalize on their earning potential as well. Like this is great for them. They get to renegotiate every single year right now. The one thing where this sucks, this era of college football absolutely sucks, is just for fans, dude. like you and me. Like this amount of turnover collectively for the sport, dude, it's just not good from a fan's perspective. When you look at Ole Miss, man, they have their best season in history, but you're not even going to see them at their best ability because they got, Lane Kiffin, their head coach, has left and taken a handful of assistants away with them, man. Um, College football, man, it's so broken. I mean, imagine if the NFL started free agency when the playoffs started, man. That's insane. And truly, man, this is becoming a sport more and more where just people who want to be fans, uh, they're the ones who lose. They're the ones who lose in all this, man. We're the ones who lose. Um, that's how I feel about it right now. I'm curious what you guys think about the state of college football right now. But yeah. I actually feel bad for Robert Livingston. His hands are tied, can't bring in his own guys. I think that could change. I don't know if I don't know if I would feel confident right now saying that that's going to be the same thing for this year. That's what it's been in the past. But yeah, I think when the whole defensive line room is leaving, one way to take that is you're going to be getting some new assistant coaches, right? We'll have to see if that's the case. Let's let Ole Miss play before talking them down. I mean, I understand King BB won, but let's be real, man. The confidence you have in them winning a national championship right now compared to if Lane Kiffin was still here is significantly less. Come on now, man. Now they could still win a game, but Lane Kiffin's a damn good football coach. Let's see what we got. Yeah, and this is the thing that's frustrating. It's like college football is truly a joke for the fans. Don't allow us to have a favorite player because he might leave tomorrow. Yeah, and it's almost like, okay, like say you're considering buying a jersey. You almost have to wait to buy a jersey of a player until they like declare for the NFL draft or, finish their eligibility at the at your school, right? At your team. I was talking in my David Talks Buffs Discord, and I was saying, man, like I would love to get a Jordan Seaton jersey, but we gotta hear about him coming back before you can do that, man. Like that sucks. And because it's AAU and this team is gonna be AAU this year, where it's very clear you're gonna have like 70 new guys on the team or whatever. If they're just all here for 1 year and then leaving, you don't really grow to love the school as fully as if you were like a player here throughout, your whole career, which is what I'm hoping Jordan Seaton will be, because he's one of the few guys, that's got the opportunity to do that. So, we'll just have to see, man. But I hate this, man. In the current era of college football, again, your team could have the best year in their history, and you could still be going into the playoffs not at your best. The sport is broken in that regard. Now, what's sad is UCU fans got hyped over a 4-8 season. Airman Duke, what the hell are you talking about, man? We won 9 games last year. We went, and then we went 3-9 this year, man. It was not good. But again, with 4-8, you could see the improvement, of course, from the 1-11 product. Now, 4-8, it has looked like a lot of the other 4-8, 5-win teams the Buffs have had over the last, 10 whatever years. Yeah, same with this 3-9 team. It's like, dude, this looks just like Carl Durrell, right? But also, when you got guys like Shador and Travis Hunter here, you would like to think that the coaching staff could capitalize on, doing, having that team reach their potential. They had a great year. I think looking back too, it's like, man, If we didn't have Pat Shermer, if we had Brennan Marrion there at that time, man, we probably could have won the conference, right? I don't know, man. But Airman Duke, man, why are you just bitching all the time, man? Do you like get off to that? What's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, give me a Salinesi jersey all day. Yeah, you gotta buy the greats. That's just what you gotta do. And yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we got Drelon too. And I mean, just looking at his stats, man, man, this was rough. This was rough. He had 20 receptions for 158 yards and a touchdown. Now, when we look at the rushing, let me pull that up as well. He had 46 carries, 134 yards for 2.9 yards and a touchdown. Ugh. Oh, he had 3 touchdowns in 2024. He had 2 touchdowns in 2025. And guys, it would not surprise me whatever school he goes to if it's a very nice change of scenery for him, and he's a very productive player. And I think that he was also, we bring in these versatile athletes, and it like makes Pat Shermer and the collective staff, their brain just absolutely combust. It's like, how do we use these guys? So, yeah. Is Colorado going to have to rob Denver banks to keep players? Sheesh, Dave. Everybody mask up, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I need a ski mask, right? I need to start robbing banks like, what's the Chiefsaholic? Dude, that guy. That guy was setting a trend. He was ahead of the curve. But yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's like we got all this money for Coach Prime, right? For this extension. And then, everybody's just leaving. Everybody's just leaving. So maybe it is more of a cultural reset than it is money related. I don't know, man. Again, we don't got any transparency like we do in the NFL on the status of the books and the financials. So what you hear, it's pretty much just all hearsay, and you got to take it with a huge grain of salt. I don't really know. Let's see. What else we got here? Dave, you got to chill, bro. You're giving some of these players too much credit when they made a lot of mistakes this past season. We just have to wait and see and hope for the best. Okay, like when you're telling me to chill, bro, like this is what I don't get. Like I can have an opinion of like I'm going to miss some of these players being here. Like what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me saying I'd ideally like to see guys like Alexander McPherson return next year? Now, I know, again, you can probably find some fourth-year mercenary from another, G5 school to come out and give us half a sack next year, right? Again, you're taking a much bigger gamble on are these guys cultural fits and all this sorts of thing, but maybe none of them were because again, Chidozie Nwankwo came in and called all these guys a bunch of bitches halfway through the year. So, yeah, again, this is just the stage. It's a cycle. It's a cycle of emotions. Right now in December, we're going to be getting bad news a lot of the time. Okay, there'll be sometimes that I'm upset with bad news. That's just part of being a fan. And then in January, we'll get to Glaze season and the optimism, man. That's just how it goes as a fan. It's all right. I know what stage I'm at right now. Do you guys? All right, gonna read through a few more of these. I'm gonna get out of here. This is just the nature of the portal and a team that struggled. These are the consequences of going 3-9 when you come into the year and you say you got the deepest team you've had since you've been here. Sucks. It sucks we all thought that way, man. Hey, Russ, have a good time, man. Have a good time, but go Hawks. Byard is hurt, so it's going to be a rough one. We can't score any goals with Byard out, man. It's been a disaster, but we're not here to talk hockey. Let's see. In my opinion, it feels like Coach Prime is too loyal to his friends. Get rid of some of those defensive coaches, starting with Sat. Well, we haven't heard yet of any changes happening on the defensive side of the ball, though those have been like teased by insiders and stuff. So again, that's how it's been. I feel like in the past with some of this loyalty, but I am right now feeling optimistic today that we're going to see changes with the assistants on the defensive staff. That's how I feel today. And hopefully Robert Livingston has the autonomy to hire some of these guys and get his defense and system coached the way that he wants it coached, much like Brennan Marrion seems to have. Bro, am I nervous? Man, am I nervous? No, nervous isn't the right word. Um, because Ivan, you've been like me, man. You understand like this is normally kind of where we live when it comes to CU football. Sadly, this hasn't really been much different than, some of the years of the past, right? So, I don't know if I'm more nervous. Again, we'll see what moves we make in January. I could be feeling a lot different. It's just hard to have any sort of definite opinion on next year's squad when we don't know what next year's squad's going to be made of yet. Yeah, exactly. We didn't hear that Barnaloni was gone until he got his new job announced. By the way, I love the fact that Marshall Faulk over at Southern, think he also hired Aqib Talib to coach the defense backs over there. That's pretty cool. Man, shut up. I don't care about your dogs. Go Tech, baby. Go Tech. If this is going to be the era of money buying college football championships, through the front door, not the back door, like Coach Ed Orgeron said, I'm at least going to root for the Big 12. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Give me 1 second, guys. My browser is freezing up. All right, cool. Cool. Russ coming in here with some more notes. Brandon Reyes is gone. Just announced full overhaul. Well, he's not the head guy, right? He wasn't our head trainer, but maybe what's his face? I can't even remember his name right now. Our head strength and conditioning guy. Maybe he's got the opportunity to bring in more of his own guys. But I'm even questioning, if he's a good fit here because of how hurt everybody was this year. Let's see here. Here's the thing, man. If you guys are upset about certain people talking about the Buffs, then just don't watch their stuff, man. That's the thing. I do it with the NFL with my Broncos, man. There are some people that absolutely hate the Broncos. Nick Wright, right? I don't really pay attention to Nick Wright. You guys are too caught up on who's making money, who's not making money, all these sorts of things, man. That's just life, man. They're talking heads everywhere. The turf is the issue. I don't buy that. No. I mean, most college teams play on artificial surfaces. I think it's over 80% now in the NFL. It's pretty much any field outside of the Meadowlands, and I think grass is what the Commanders play on, but that's been like a terrible surface to play on. So again, that study done on turf was friggin' forever ago, dude. Coaching. It's about coaching. Indiana built their entire team from the portal and good coaching. Yeah, they also had good scouting. You know what we missed on scouting this year with a lot of the transfers brought in? Good character, man. We just missed on it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will we'll see what else we got to talk about tomorrow. I'm sure that this isn't the end of it for the weekend. I'm sure we're gonna hear about more players leaving, but I'll stand on this. I said as long as we have Juju, Seaton, and Tawfiq Byard, I'm gonna feel great about it. And now we lost Tawfiq Byard. That blows. So hey, now as long as we got Julian Lewis, Jordan Seaton, and London Merritt, man, this could be a bad take. This could be a bad take right now. I feel good about it, right? But then again, man, I came on here however many months ago, and I said I want Shador to go to any team but the Cleveland Browns. But the Cleveland Browns. You know? Yeah. Yeah. We didn't look for character at all, man. Yeah, we just read, PFF box scores. Is that what we did? We did stuff that I do. But I'm not paid to do any of that. I'm not paid to scout. None of that, man. No. All right, guys. We'll see you later. It will get better.